Morning. We're back Monday, back for another trading week. Got like 15 minutes before the market opens, so I think it's a good time to get the market prep in, see what happened overnight. Got a huge overnight session, got 460 points. It's gonna be interesting today, I think. Right, so I'm gonna start out by organizing my screens. Shit going on here. Okay, that sounds good. Um, Daily levels. So already did the weekly prep. Oh dear Lord, why didn't it save my levels from the other week? Interesting. Right, I'm gonna do that real quick on stream live. That's annoying. I just got to the charts, to my disk. I know a lot of levels could stay as they are. I just need to adjust a few. I think I got good memory. POC. Get the value area low. Get the aggression here on the bottom of the prior weekly. God damn it, that's annoying. Um, Save. It was a level of aggression on top too. For some reason, this profile looks way different. This one, level at 178, 170, yeah, 178. I think I only needed this value area low from the week prior to that. Basically, the one we're rejecting from right now. And I think that was that. Stupid program. So currently the weekly, we opened up, we gapped down, and bounced on that value area low from that session. At the moment, we are trading back into prior range. We're trading above that level of aggression, which is at 466, 472 and a half ish. So as long as we're staying above that, I'm looking for price to regain value. If we regain value, the low value, I'll be looking for a move to the 850s, 8440, 8860, 90. Right. So daily profiles. Hopping onto the dailies. Value low from that session. It's marking out key levels here. The point of control. The open is to be determined. Value area high. And then we have the high of this session. So at the moment, if we open up right here, we're opening up out of range and value. So gap rules are in play. So the opening price is going to be important here. Also, already seeing like a level of aggression here in the overnight. The value area high is going to be important. It's key levels here. If we reject current overnight value area high, this could be looking spooky. But if we regain prior range low, that level of aggression in the overnight, prior value area low, it's going to be looking really good for moves for a value rotation, at least to the prior POC. And then if we keep pushing up for a value rotation up to 850s. That aligns with that weekly point of control. So basically, if we regain prior range low, could be a move back towards prior POC on the daily, and perhaps a complete value rotation, and that would mean a move towards the weekly point of control. Yeah, interesting. All right. Overnight. Let's see what we got right here. I got too many things going on screen. Super annoying. Right, redrawing my daily overnight session. Still got 10 minutes, but I think levels are solid as they are. Currently trading at the value area high of that session. Drawing the upper extremes on value. Basically drawing this one from value area high to that low volume node at 571. Then same for the bottom. Value low. But this one is going to be drawn towards the high volume node at 301. Points of interest on the bottom. I think I need to zoom in for this one. This is like a 460 point range. The market, like that profile is thin as hell. Like there's a lot of stuff going on here. High volume nodes, aggression. Just need to find the one that makes sense. I'll take the lowest one here. Yo, CJ. Is that CJ? What's up, man? What's up? Same from the top. The aggression on the top here. This one's going to be more important for current price action. So looking for the high volume node with the most aggression on top. Zoom in a little bit here. This one's interesting for sure at 589. But I do like this curve better. I think I'm going to go for 619. 619. 619 is going to be should be the one. Yeah, I'm gonna take this one a little bit more aggressive. The bottom one here. What are my pivot points for that volume profile? So this is the most bearish aggression out of value. So as you can see, the left side of this profile is delta, the right side is just the volume total. So in this case, on the bottom side of out of value, I'm looking for the most aggressive part where the sellers were most aggressive as a line in the sand. So if this one gets gained, it's going to be looking really bullish for a move towards the overnight high and beyond. If we fail and get dropped back under that, I might be looking for shorts, for example. Yeah, market's still open. I mean, market's still not open for like 6 minutes. So levels might changed a little bit on the volume, but I think this is basically what it's going to be. It's not that clear in this profile because it's like a 460 point, fairly thin spread volume. Like you can see it on the delta on the left side. You get some huge buying and selling delta going on here, but for the most part, it's very small. There's other days where it stands out way more than this. This is not the best example. Yeah, gap rules are in play. Let's see what happens upon open. See if you can zoom in a little bit more here. So if we open up and we trade above the overnight value area high, it's going to be looking good for upside, especially if the gap rules apply. Agree with it. But I'm still going to be looking at that 590 level as a extreme where price can reject. Unless or until we trade above this level, if we trade above that level, that's where I'm going to get really bullish for moves up, especially back into value, back to that prior POC, back to that prior weekly POC, things like that. Dude, CJ, I need more screens, man. I think the overnight session will stay like this, so that's good. Do I go full screen or do I go like this? So on top of here, there's like a lot of levels. We get the value area, get that extreme on the overnight, the value area high on the overnight, which are colored red. And then the value area low from the prior session and the prior range low. So this is going to be a interesting level. I still need to mark out some swing points here. We'll use that 455 level. $455 in the overnight high. I need more money for more screens, more like that. Just spent like $1,000 on a new mic. Got myself Rodecaster Duo. Still getting used to this thing, but shit is expensive. Got 2 minutes till the open. Yeah, volume overnight level stay the same. I mean, the mic on its own is just like $100, but it's the other stuff like the Rodecaster Duo is like $500, for example. Right, one more minute. I mean, like 26 seconds. Basically looking to see what happens on the overnight high. And I want to mark out the opening price too. See what happens. Mark this out. Gap rules in play. Especially going to wait for that first minute to play out. Looks like it wants to pop though. Right? The gap is closed. Damn man, for some reason, deep chart is not thinking my levels from the prior session correctly. The fuck is this? Shit. All right. Right. Opening price currently rejecting that aggression level to the upside. That's what you want to see for continuation up. Also pushing back into value from yesterday, or like from Friday. These levels are just not syncing up. Like, what the hell's going on? Prior value area low is basically at 613. Back into value. Prior PLC probably gets tapped fairly quick at 716. I do think we got see we got here 15 minutes after the open PMI final, top of the hour ISM. So longs only for me. Kind of want to get involved before we basically tap that prior PLC. Something's basically filter price gap too. Damn, is it like a 90-point candle on the 1 minute? Jesus. My 30-point stop is like freaking nothing. Yeah, kind of want to get involved, but I don't want to do it right here. It's too volatile. Maybe somewhat more of a pullback would be ideal. Although at the same time, you don't want to see it fail these levels. Looks really good for upside. So trading back to the gap close, back into value, straight to that POC. There's a case to be made for me to be way more aggressive than this is, but the candles are a little bit too big to do that, in my opinion. This already was the most obvious play. Back into value, back in range, back in value, trade towards that naked pawn of control. For some reason, my bubbles are so small. How is this? Definitely something I don't want to short. And it was like a 3 minute, 100 point move, 2 minutes. There's times where I just put orders on that overnight extreme, give it some room, see what happens. Seller stepping in, try to push it down. Just don't like just being at that prior point of control. So annoying. It's kind of flagging out here, but the biggest fan on that prior POC. See what happens. See if you can get some continuation. Doesn't look that hot. Guess we'll wait for a little pullback. Oh, really? Do we get that news in 2 minutes? Less than two. Looks good though, especially above that 709. Should have given it a little bit more room, especially on that high volume note here. Under this one. Very most likely gave a drop myself out of here too tight. Just looking at the aggression on top. News. Buyers again stepping in here. Looks good, but I don't want to be part of it right here on that PLC. Holding it up. Might pop. Regardless, I'm waiting for a pullback. Looks really good though. This is the move. The spot. Seller stepping in. Buyer stepping in. Can trail this one very tight if I can get in. Right? I'm wicked in. Last attempt here at the POC. This candle trades above. I'm very likely to go break even. Do want to see some more information though. Seller stepping in. Gonna protect myself here. I want to see them get absorbed. I want to see price push up. I want to see sellers win here. It's fine. Not the biggest fan after this huge run up and price starts shopping around at that POC. Would like to be involved rather be involved in a pullback. It's not really a pullback. Still more news. Top of the hour. Oh, really? Straight up to that. Weekly point of control, most likely. Prior value area higher. Jeez, what a candle. Should have given it the candle at least. Was that like 15 points? Probably a little bit of a trail mistake here. Focusing too much on keeping myself break even instead of putting the stop below or kept it below here. It's not a fan here. Yeah, whatever. Whatever. Sharing the wrong screen. Riding against that second upper deviation. Interesting. 'Cause I guess we'll wait out the news. 260-point move up without a pullback. Slight pullbacks. Do like this here, dude. Sellers getting absorbed. This thing wants to keep pushing. Look at some room though. Same time, this is going to be resistance. Jobs tomorrow. Let's see what we got. We got jobless claims. We got NFP on Friday. What? It's gonna be interesting. Buyers trying to step in here on the bottom. This move. Could be a spot with a tight stop. Really, really tight here. See what happens. I'm gonna be out real quick. Using tree. Let's see where we want to get involved. Definitely want to see keep trading above that POC for upside. I think it's getting some kind of pullback right now. Right, news in less than a minute. Right, top of the hour here. Spooky rejection though. Let's go pull back some more. Sellers are getting absorbed here on the bottom. If you confirm above, see what happens if you push one more time down. Someone's buying it up here though. Good bounce on this one. Not the biggest fan. Please film me. Okay. Stop below the aggression. Is the level to gain or reject? Kind of want to go break even though. Let's give it let's get a little bit tighter though. I really want to see it pull back to these levels. Probably not. If we start trading above 790, basically that box, definitely put a break even. For adding, I'm way too slow. Probably start trailing after 2R. Just basically gonna be not that far away. Right, punching through that aggression here. I want to see that level get gained. Trade above 789 is line the sand here for the move. Can we get it? Still looks good. Sellers are getting absorbed here. See it on the delta is bearish and then price pushing up. That means someone's buying it, which is good. Probably trail 813 if we pop that. Or a break-in retest. Still needs to break on the 1 minute. A high volume node here, that cluster at 90s. Still kind of rejecting it. It has to do that. That's good. Now I want to see the move up. It's a very nice move up so far. Almost at 2R. This is 2R, 15s. Gonna trail some. This has to continue, or this will just. Where's that POC on the weekly, dude? Where you at? Let's be greedy. I'm definitely gonna be trailed out before it hits that move, but you never know, man. You never know. This is 2R. Kind of want to see price push up and trail here. I will trail myself out very likely, but also want some back. Trying to have some patience here. Look good for a move towards even higher. I mean, that's like a prior range high, 940s. Jesus. Yeah, that weekly POC is as far as I go. If I can get it, probably get trailed out before. More aggression. Kind of want to see the push through here. I'm going to trail myself out, start stepping in. It has to push through or I'm out of this trade. Go, 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 go. Let's take some partials. Wouldn't that be smart? Oh, happened. I think someone added instead of taking freaking partials. Feel smart. Start stepping in here. Our buyers getting absorbed here. See the green bubbles has to push through, or there's like a passive seller keeping it down, which is not going to be good for the bulls. Want to see price push, 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 push up. Obviously, I will probably drill the low of that bearish candle here. Starting to show some weakness here. The delta is pushing it here down. Starts becoming more and more aggressive here. See if that buyer. Nope. Not a bad trade. It's not a bad trade. Probably should have done that from the get-go though. Have some patience for the freaking pullback. Oh, really? So technically, what I should have been doing is trailing that sell aggression. Not a bad trade though. Not a bad trade. Should have still been in. Right, let's see how that looks on the profile. Profile wise, we just did a complete value rotation. So we opened up out of range and value. So gap rules were in play. We denied the gap rules. The most bearish case, we dropped back, we closed the gap, we dropped back into value, trade towards the POC, complete value rotation towards the value area higher, which is going to be around that weekly point of control. We're basically hitting a high volume node here, the 844s. This is very likely to be a point of rejection. Damn, should have held on to it. Brutal. So yeah, definitely should have been trailing the Christian on the sellers here. That was 70-point trade, so that's not bad at all. 70 points, that's not bad. It's going to trade straight towards that prior weekly POC to that target and then just melt probably. But I do like the highs on that prior range high, especially if we get above that prior weekly POC. Definitely would have been chilled out right here. Still bullish towards those price range high levels though. It's just gonna get whippy around that weekly POC especially. And that current move already is 340 points, 340 points up. Prior weekly POC taps right here. This was the target. A very greedy target. I mean, 120 points. On a weekly point of view, I really want to see price break out, come back, and then find some buyers. Otherwise, this one is going to be potential resistance. So on a daily, I don't know how much I want to trade. Trade longs above private value area high towards that prior range high. Makes sense though. Makes sense, but it's not really giving pullbacks. This is just straight up. The pullback was 750s. Just keeps going up, huh? It's really salty when you get stopped out like on a candle like this and look back. Yeah, happens more than not. Basically, just one pullback. Basically, one pullback. At least on my time frame. Just trying to see if it made sense for me to like enter on something like this. Candles were like huge, 40 points. Almost needed to trade the level instead of a candle or the aggression. Still 40 points, that's a lot. Could have sized down. This is just going to go straight towards that prior range higher. Looks really good, but I want more of a pullback. I'm not going to be trading that aggressive anymore. It looks good here, but then again, you're going to put your stop way. Let's not do that. There's a chance where it's just not going to give a pullback before it hits that prior range high, obviously. See what the profile looks like. $900 line in the sand. If that one pops, more like 903. Something like this. Sharing the wrong screens here. Dude, I need more screens to share screens to see what's going on the screens. If that makes sense. Kind of a dedicated one for stream setup. Dude, like it's still towards that prior range high. But I want to see a freaking pullback, dude. We're getting a pullback. Man, I'm hungry. I need some food off this trade. See if buyers can keep up here. Sellers are pushing it hard. And we got IB that closes in 3. And we're at that probably weekly POC too. Absorption potential. I mean, we just did like a 370-point move up. Maybe a little bit of a pullback. I mean, from this swing, 730s, 170 points up from that swing. I'd say it's due for a little bit of a pullback. Only thing I don't like is that prior weekly point of control being here. Starts pushing it back up. See if you can start trading above 80s. Absorption on that weekly point of control. If you push 67. IB is closed. Sellers pushing through here. CVD. Not the biggest fan for longs at the moment. Under that prior weekly POC. From a daily perspective, it does look good. We're above value from Friday. Those levels from prior range high still naked. I can still like it long. This is just a good spot to get chopped up. Going long on the aggression. Risking today's profits. More trailing this tighter. Don't want to see. Don't want to see the rejection. I'm out. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that private weekly point of control here. Still looks kind of good. I just don't like the spot trade location. To me, it's not a deal. Especially this move should have pushed up. Trying to see if things make sense for long. Not the biggest fan at all. Looks like continuation down though. At the same time, not something I want to freaking short. See if we can get another sweep. Or buyer step in and we close above 77s. Not the biggest fan though. This could move real quick if it decides to try for a run up. Trade above the 80s, especially above that weekly period. I might add. Definitely not the biggest fan here. The move has been strong. Trade just makes sense. Trade still makes sense. It's just our weekly point of control. It's not ideal trade location here. No signs of the buyers yet. This has to push through. Anticipating a move towards the IB high, especially above, first of all, above that prior weekly point of control. That would be a first. Above this swing point. Can we get the continuation? I don't want to see rejection at that weekly point of control though. I want to see this push through, gain that swing point at 87. Nice. Now she can do a 300-point move up without pullbacks. Drilling the low with that candle. $70 of risk. Stalling out though. This one has to push again against that 901. The box has to break basically. That's where the aggression was. If that one hits, I'm very likely to go break even. Let's just do that right now. Don't want to add. I'm not going to screw my average here. I'm just going to wait. Sarah's trying to step in here. Push through, push through. Will trail. Once we push, break, and retest, very likely. Always could be a rejection of the IB at a 12, 912. Do like it, like it, like it. Marking out that IB high here. I want to see a retest of this level, and especially a break of that level. Once we hit that level and we see absorption of any kind, I kind of want to trail myself out. So at this point, we broke that one level. We need the rejection. If we reject, I will go for this 240, this 901. Kind of want to see it push through that prior candle. Do it, do it, do it. It's having a rough time here. This rejects, I could get in trouble. Still got that big seller here. This one holds, still be looking good. Oh man, I want to add to this one so badly. Bro, bro. It's not looking hot, huh? Brutal. Brutal. Could have been more aggressive with the stop though, but and this is what happens at the prior weekly point of control. So I'm not a fan of this area. Trade made sense though. It was a good trade. Basically to the break even here. It was 40 points in profit. Yeah, definitely left some on the table here. Especially once we broke that upper box here, kind of rejecting it. I was waiting for price to wick above that prior candle here. It didn't do it. That's what made me not trail it. Otherwise, I definitely would have trailed it. I think this might be going for a little bit deeper of a pullback. Jesus, I'm only up 300 bucks. Jesus. That 60 level flushes or breaks. It's probably flushes real quick. Some lower levels here. It's like kind of bullish here. Price not even making lower lows. CVD's making lower lows, so they're still buying this shit up. But at the same time, I don't want to be messing around in this range. So it basically created a high, created a low, unable to trade above the high. At the moment, unable to trade below the low. So this is a range. Or at least for me it is. Let's see what the profile says. Take the high to the low. Currently rejecting the value low from that range. Get some more information. This looks like it wants more down. I do think it's still bullish. It's super bullish price action, but obviously we're like up how many points? 372. Even with a deeper pullback, this would be still looking for really bullish. It's just that weekly point of control that messes things up for me. This would be spot for a rejection if it wants to sell off. Get some distribution going on here, trap some people long. But then again, from a daily perspective, everything above basically the POC is it's not a bearish thing. I might just take the small green day, the warmer, more warmer upper for the week. Definitely could have been aggressive on the day with some lower size, perhaps. Could have been a thing, especially on those opens on this time frame with the huge candles. I think I'm gonna go for a little recap of the profiles. See if things made sense, what we're trying to do today. What do you think about that? Because I'm really not the biggest fan of price. Big move, starts to consolidate here. Yes, this could sweep, regain, go, probably very much likely. But then again, I want to see price at least try to push out of value or back into value. Where's my pointer? Obviously, it's not working. So at this point, everything above the value area is super bullish. It's just we're in a range here. Kind of want to see some manipulation, basically. I want to see price lose this structure and then see structure here to buy or wait for price to regain outside of value to then long and target those swing highs and that prior range higher. But do I really want to wait for this today? It's Monday, it's a long week, got a lot of trading going on. Definitely could have made more money today. Definitely on the stream too. Streaming and trading at the same time is freaking not easy. I'm trying to do good here. 90 minutes in the session. This is like usually also the time where I'm like, good to be done. Let's see what happens here. Let's just see what happens here. Because I do still like the prior range high levels. It's right here, man. Like that aggression here. This one melted, starts trading below, starts rejecting. This is when things start to get active. No worries, sir. No worries. I'll get it. I'll get it down. This is basically what you want to see if you want to go along. I'm not gonna lie. All right, we're risking today's profits to make more profits. This trade fails. Either way, I'm gonna be done. it's gonna be or $80 a profit, or it's gonna be 1100, or anything in between. But yeah, what do we see here? So initially we saw that aggression level here on the bottom of that range gets flushed, gets rejected, price flushes. This is where things really got aggressive. You see the seller step in, the aggressive sellers immediately buyer step in. You see the buy aggression on top, which basically makes these traders here be absorption. So that's basically going to be my protection for the trade. If we start trading above 70s, I might add even. Especially I want to see that level hold up here. Especially when we close above like this. When we start trading above the prior, this basically where I start looking for ads. I'm not gonna do it. I should trail my stop towards the aggression where we rejected from. If price revisits that level, it's very likely to get my stop and go beyond. So I don't want to be in the position if it comes back there. And then if I get like 1R, or if price, let's see, what is to be watched out for here? Basically, this is the level that has to gain. Should be managing my position at the same time though. Getting absorbed, seller step in, seller step in, seller step in. Still looks good on the CVD, I think. So this is the level I don't want to see price fail now. I'm going break even. That swing high at 73 has to break, and then we go. Or I'm going to be break even. Should be a little bit lower though. Yeah, it's basically break even. Is it gonna wick me and go? It's worth a shot though. Like the real support is down here. Um, I just don't like it when price pushes up. You see the buy aggression, price closes below. You start to see seller step in. This turns into absorption, given that we're like that high up in the day, that we are hitting the prior weekly point of control. Yeah. If this thing goes, this could still absorb here. It could be, could be a limit passive buyer here, but not a fan, not the biggest fan. See it on the CVD. CVD is trying to make new lows, but it's not on the on price. $7.98. Yeah, if I see price go there, then I'm not gonna. Kind of want to see it here. It's not. So now the CVD is agreeing with price, lower lows, lower lows. Means the move is real, or more likely to be real, I should say. But definitely worth a shot. That's basically what you want to see on a big trades or deep trades. see a point fail. You want to see, in this case, for the longs, buyers, sellers get trapped, buyers to step in. It just failed. Like this just happens. This is exactly what I would be looking for. That's why I took the trade. So at this point too, we're dropping back into value from a prior range, basically hitting a high volume node on a high time frame. And then on the daily profiles, we're dropping back into value. There's a case to be made for a little bit of a pullback too at this point. Yeah, okay. So I think I'll take the small green day and do a little recap here. Take off all the levels. How would that make more sense? All right. So upon open, we traded below the prior range low, so we were trading with a gap. So the gap rules were implied. If price were to open up the opening price here, super bearish immediately, shorts only. If price were to sell off, come back, retest, still super bearish, shorts only. Price did the opposite. We closed the gap immediately, started trading above that high volume node on the overnight session, overnight profile. So for reference, take this off. So this was the value area high from the overnight, and this was that high volume node on the overnight. Once we start trading above, it was especially longs only. Just very hard for price to, or like for me to like enter normally on these candles. It's very aggressive. Price immediately after rejecting this high volume node traded back into value from the prior day. That sets up the probabilities for the price to move towards that prior point of control. But again, yeah, very aggressive here to like enter on this in the first minutes of the session. And then here, up here, we started basically somewhat flagging out. I went long on it. I wanted to see immediate continuation. Got a small stop on here on this trade. Once again, anticipating continuation from this point of control towards that private value area high. Went long again. Price pushed up. Went a little bit too quick. Break even. Should have trailed my stop below that candle. Would have kept me in the trade. Would have made more sense for the stop in general. Then give it some more room, time to develop. Again, seeing the aggression here on candle, the imbalance. Seeing sellers push through, buyers trying to push up. Kind of wanted to use these as support for continuation up again. Took a real small stop here. Then waited for price to develop some structure. Pull back. This was top of the hour, was news. After the news dropped on this huge wick. But when things like this happen, I try to avoid that wick because it's like a news wick. And I try to focus on the buyers. What's price doing? We are back in value, regaining point of control. The idea is that price goes to the private value area high. So I try to keep that in mind instead of look at this wick. We saw the sellers here push, unable to push through, becomes absorption, especially once we close above like this. Very likely to be absorption. This is a good spot for protection on your trade. Then price just ripped up without any real pullbacks. Trailed myself out here a little bit too soon. The trades again should have been under the aggression, but I basically didn't want to give it too much more room. I didn't want to give back that much. Looking back, it's a very stupid thing to do, but yeah, looking back is looking back. And then no more entries really without being super aggressive again, so just leaving it right there. Once again, try to do the same thing, see for structure, see the sellers getting trapped, buyer step in, again the long, quick break even after the ad. Then what did I do here? Oh yeah, I went long again because it still looked good. Went long again. Stop was below the aggression here, below the absorption. Price pushed up towards the upper absorption, aggression. Could have been more aggressive with my trail this time. Gave way too much room. Price comes back, break even on that trade. And then the last one we just did. Again, waiting for somewhat of a manipulation move, structure to get broken. You saw here that big trades, that level of aggression. Once price trades below and starts rejecting those levels, things get going. You saw it in price too, gets a little bit more quicker. The tape goes quicker. You see the seller step in. Immediately the next candle, buyer step in, we close above. It's a super bullish delta flip in my opinion. Go long, went long, gave it some room for a retest towards that aggression here. After we retested that level, we tried to push up, started to trail this level. I don't want to see that level get revisited really. Price pushed up again and we absorbed here on top. This is where I put my stop break even or like below the candle because I didn't want to do the same thing I did prior, like just trail it inside of that candle just to keep it easy, trail the low. That was like a 20-point stop, $20 stop, regardless. But yeah, this was basically an awesome example of what I want to see in a long trade. This is just the opposite of the long trade. We're getting absorbed on top. We close below, seller step in. This could have been a short. I just didn't want to. I don't want to short things like that. Could have been a play, but yeah. I think I'm happy for the day. Getting really hungry too. So from a profile perspective, we basically did a clean value rotation on the prior session from Friday, entering back on the prior range low all the way back to the top, prior value area high, currently rejecting this at that prior weekly point of control. This is why I really, on a daily point of view, I really like to move towards the prior range high. I still kind of do, but that prior weekly point of control just got me a little bit nervous here. It could be a rejection point on a higher time frame. We'll see. To be seen. To be seen tomorrow upon open where we open. But yeah, I'm done for today. It's been good. Even though it's a really small green day, it's a green day. I had some fun. I hope everyone had some fun. I hope everyone's green on the day. And yeah, we'll make some more money during the week. So that's it. Thanks for streaming. Thanks for being here. I'll see you all in the next one.